bounced around but drops through. And Western Kentucky up by one final heave for the Blueheads. Fernandez for the win. And Western Kentucky gonna steal one in overtime.
Spins away from the defender, crosses over, pulls off.
Got it. Yes! For Jack State.
A Hail Mary to Salma Kadur. Euro step. Oh, what a play by the Lady Tigers.
The Stars are back and return to the court to help WKU men's basketball get the overtime win.
And a losing streak has finally been broken for the Hilltoppers women's basketball team.
And Hilltopper baseball is underway as they split the opening series against BYU 2-2.
And Mark Raridan is gearing up as his squad takes on Southeast Missouri State in a 4-game series. Next on the Extra Point.
Pass is called, one-handed grab. Are you kidding me, Dalvin?
Bucket with space inside the 10. Looks to break the tackle, and he breaks the end zone.
It will keep it on the ground with Wales. Not only will he get the first down, he'll get the touchdown and the championship.
Use it for Rogers for three for the win. Western Kentucky does it great.
The grass is red in Kentucky. Holy moly.
The Hilltoppers are champions of Conference USA.
Welcome into Studio 2. I am Jacob Fox, and I am here with Brandon Stafford. How are we doing today?
We're doing fantastic, my man Jacob. I'm so happy to be here at this desk to talk all things Hilltopper sports, any sports. And I'm also happy because, you know, we go way back. We're over being best buds. We go way back. Trinity Shamrocks for life.
Yep, TTV.
Yep. TTV,
But I think we need to jump into these Hilltopper headlines like Tegan Moore jumped back into the starting lineup. Tegan Moore is back and better than ever. His first 2 games back from concussion protocol, he has scored 55 points combined. The Tops with Tegan Moore in the lineup have beat MTSU by 2 and won at Delaware in overtime. With him in the lineup, the Tops are undefeated through their last 2 games. Tegan Moore looks to keep the train rolling as the Tops travel to Liberty to face the best team in Conference USA.
And I'll say this right now, Jacob, they're going to need him when they play the best team in Conference USA. They're 2-3 without him, but with them, they are so much better. But coming in at the second Hilltopper headline, the streak is finally over. WKU Lady Toppers snapped the 8-game losing streak and get the win against Jacksonville State last Saturday. Western's defense was key in a highly competitive game that looked to be must-win and a somewhat disappointing season so far for the Tops. Western Kentucky gets their second win of the season in Conference USA regular season play and will look to get win number 3 against MTSU this weekend in the 100 Miles of Hate rivalry game.
Yes, I think that WKU can gain some momentum from that Jacksonville State game, and it can really help them. And for our final Hilltopper headline, senior Maddie Wood won Conference USA Pitcher of the Week for the first time in her career. She posted a 1.97 earned run average in 10.2 innings of work at the Mercer University Softball Invitation. She also had 10 strikeouts and only walked 2 batters along the way. She looks to continue her dominance throughout the season as the Tops play at home for this first time all season this weekend.
I'll say this right now. That was her first award in her career she got for Pitcher of the Week. I'm expecting to see a lot more of those awards this season. I'm expecting it.
Let's switch it up, though. We got our EP Top 5 Players of the Week. Brandon, you want to start us off?
You know what? Let's jump right into it, Jacob. Coming in at number 5, we got redshirt sophomore guard Tegan Moore getting his first bucket back from injury. He needed this, and the whole crowd roared. They definitely think that he deserved this as well. Tegan Moore, welcome back.
Yes, and when your best player comes out and hits his first shot, you know that crowd's about to erupt, and it's definitely a Top 5 play. But next, we have play number 4. Sophia Telegdi gives her best impression of Mahomes and drops a dime to Salma Kadur to get the bucket.
And that kind of looked like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, look, Western Kentucky football, y'all's coaching staff. You might want to, see if she wants to come over and be that QB coach because she could make an impact there too, probably.
Tisdale should be taking notes.
Tisdale, take notes. If you're watching, take notes. But now, coming in at number 3, we're saying with the Lady Toppers, Trinity Rowe. Oh, my goodness gracious. How do you guard this? Gets the buzzer beater to end the third quarter. I mean, Jacob, I'll ask it again. How do you guard this?
Yeah, I don't think you can guard a sidestep, fadeaway, three-pointer at the buzzer. That's just basically impossible. I couldn't do that.
No, I could not do that. Trinity's a dog.
And now for number 2, we got L.J. Hackman with a strong and one bucket, getting under that defender.
that finish was fantastic. I thought he was going to dunk, but no, I'm going to go underneath and get the M1. And that was a very big bucket in a very close game against Delaware. They definitely needed that play from LJ, and he's been making plays for them this weekend. This season. I'll say that right now. He is a dog. And now for number 1, folks. It's a familiar name, Cade Hardy. Might give him a paycheck for the amount of highlights he's given us. Did you call bank? Nah, I called game. Another game-winning 3 for Hardy. Jacob, how many game winners has this man scored this season?
More than enough.
More than enough?
More than enough.
I mean, he keeps doing it every single week. And if you're a defense, you should know the ball's going to him. And like, if it's less than 20 seconds left and it's a tie game, where do you think the ball's going?
Yeah,
it's going to Hardy.
It's going to Hardy. It's going in the net. And as our producer, Phil Clark, on 270 would say, green beans.
Green beans.
Green beans.
Green beans,
yes.
gentlemen.
But
Jacob.
And he's always.
He's the dog.
Water.
But Jacob, what was your favorite player from this top 5 list?
I think my favorite play has to be the Mahomes pass.
The Mahomes pass?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Me personally, I think it should have been a little bit moved up. But Tegan Moore, his first bucket back.
Yeah.
Man, how could you not say that was the best one? Cade Hardy, I'm sorry. That was great too. But Tegan Moore, his first bucket back.
Yes.
Come on, that's got to be great. But coming up, find out what head coach Hank Plona says about his team's performance after facing Delaware.
And we will look at what the Tops need to look out for against Liberty next on the Extra Point.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Right corner 3. There's Tegan Moore. Welcome back to the hill. Here comes Murdix up to ODI, and he pushes it for 2. Low to Newell. Spins off. Hesitates. Reverse layup. Good with the foul. By Land. Steps behind a screen. 3 triples for Tegan Moore.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. Basketball season is in the back half of their conference schedule and looks to set themselves up for a favorable conference tournament position after facing Delaware in that overtime win. And I mean, Jacob, tell me about the overtime win real quick. What did the Tops do right?
My gosh, they came back from 16 down. They were down 37-21 in that game with a 9% chance to win that game per ESPN. And they won that game in overtime. It was an extremely impressive game from the Tops.
When you hear fight till the end, that's what you find in the dictionary. That game right there is that definition of fight till the end. That game was close. They were down by a lot for a large part of that game, but then they fought. Ryan Myers, 22 points, 4 rebounds, as you can see on your screen. Terry Marks getting all those assists, and each one of those assists That was fantastic. He was getting his players, his teammates open, and that bench points, people coming off the bench and scoring, helping Western capture this overtime win was absolutely phenomenal.
And L.J. Hackman had 13 points and 4 steals in that game too, which was insane performance all around from every guy on that Tops team.
And we saw a little top play from LJ.
Oh, yeah.
He played good.
Yeah.
I mean, his buckets were phenomenal. He was fighting to the rim. Tegan Moore, we can always talk about him, but you know what? Speaking of one player that made a big impact in Wednesday's win against Delaware was exactly who I just said, redshirt sophomore, Tegan Moore. I mean, come on. His second game back, 27 points. His 2 games that he returned, he's dropped 55.
Yes.
Absolutely insane.
Insane. And when WKU has Tegan Moore on the floor, they are 13-8. And when they don't have him on the floor, they're 2-3. So he makes a big impact. In the last 2 games WKU's played in, if they don't have Tegan Moore, they don't win those games.
They don't win those close games because they won those last 2 games by a combined score of 3 points. They won by a combined 3 points, folks. They need Tegan Moore to drive to the basket, get those M1s, and right there, he's doing phenomenal. And his teammates, he makes his teammates better. Right there again, getting the M1. When he's on the court, he gets better, and all of his teammates get better as well.
Yes.
But let's hear what head coach Hank Plona wants his team to do against this upcoming matchup against Liberty.
Look at the stats this year. We've succeeded and struggled in both. I mean, we need to. I want to make teams uncomfortable. So if we can find unique ways to make them uncomfortable, whether that's speed them up or put 2 on the ball or put them in a spot they haven't been in, we'll try to do that. Liberty's very hard to do that too because they're so smart and they're so together. So man, it seems like anything if you run at Liberty a little bit, man, they'll pass the ball 3 times, get a wide open 3. So you got to be careful.
Now, after the thrilling OT win against Delaware, the Hilltoppers travel to Lynchburg, Virginia, to take on the juggernaut of CUSA, the Liberty Flames. Jacob, tell me, what do the Tops need to do to defeat this absolute juggernaut of a team?
Okay, the big thing WKU needs to do is out-rebound Liberty. Liberty is the worst team in the conference when it comes to rebounding the basketball. They have 30 boards a game. WKU in their last matchup against Liberty, yes, they may have lost that game by 7 points, but they did out-rebound them. I would say the Tops need to out-rebound them around 7 to 10 rebounds, and that's going to help them win a game at Liberty, who is undefeated in Conference USA.
When you get more rebounds, you're able to get the ball back to your playmakers like Tegan Moore and L.J. Hackman, and they're going to need to do that. But now someone that WKU needs to keep an eye on when they're on defense is the Flames' leading scorer this season, Brett Decker Jr. He, my man, he is their Tegan Moore. When we talk about Tegan Moore for Western, that is their Tegan Moore for Liberty. He is a playmaker. Tell me about him, Jacob.
Yes, he has 17 points per game. And let's flip it to their game against FIU, which was their last game. 16 points, but he shot 33% from the field. I think if WKU wants to win this game, they are going to have to stop him from scoring the basketball on every shot, and they're going to have to make him take stupid shots.
Yeah, I 100% agree, but you cannot just focus all your defense on this one guy. And last night's win against FIU, Zach Cleveland, he dropped 18 points, had 8 assists, and had 4 rebounds. Their entire team is full of playmakers, and I hear what you're saying. 100% out-rebound, out-rebound, out-rebound. They out-rebounded Liberty the last game, and they still ended up catching the L. They're going to need to make sure their defense is on point if they want a shot at winning against Liberty.
Because we say that. They have 5 guys scoring over 11 points per game. They are absolute bucket getters, Brandon.
Absolutely, Jacob. But I know we just talked about this Hilltopper basketball team, but I heard that you have a little take that you might want to share with the audience.
Yeah, Brandon, this take isn't little at all. My take will either be singing in the heavens or burning in the dumpster out back of Studio 2. With that being said, I believe this WKU basketball team will win 4 out of their last 5 games in the regular season and go on a run to win the Conference USA tournament for the 2nd time in 3 years. Getting Tegan Moore back in the lineup gives this team a boost that is needed, an 18.2 points per game boost to be exact. This will propel the Tops to a whole new level to win in the final stretch of the season. Also, having players like freshman guard Armello Boone averaging 11-6 and senior forward Grant Newell averaging 12-4 will give the Tops an edge coming down to the wire to make a final push.
I know we talked about these Liberty Flames having playmakers. Western Kentucky has playmakers as well. And I'm all ears. I'll say this right now. If Western can beat Liberty, which is this juggernaut in CUSA, I think they could win the final slate of their games, every single one. They could go undefeated this final part of this season. I believe it.
They really can, and I think the big thing for WKU is going to be out-rebounding teams, playing better, not getting down like they did against Delaware, because Delaware is tied for worst in the conference in conference records. So you can't do that to teams like Liberty. You have to be in the game at all times. If you get down to Liberty big like they did against Delaware, you are not winning that basketball game.
You're not winning that basketball game, but again, defense, defense, defense. You hear it in every single sport. Defense wins games, defense wins championships, but your defense has to be on point when you're facing an offensive juggernaut like Liberty. You have to make sure that you are man, whether it's man or zone, you have to make sure that you are on point and leave nobody open, because like we said, every single player on that Liberty team is a scorer. And they make sure this final part of the season, they do just that. But that Liberty game will have fireworks for sure. And Jacob, your take might go up in flames. I'm not going to lie to you. But don't go anywhere, folks. We will be breaking down Hilltopper women's basketball next on The Extra Point.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School, college first-round draft pick. On and off the field, we were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20 plus years was physical, physical, physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
They held them to single digits in the last two quarters, 14 points and a half. And we can win games if we can hold teams in points.
Welcome back into Studio 2. It's time to switch things over to the women's side of the ball in their game against Jacksonville State. Brandon, what happened in last weekend's game?
Defense, defense, defense. This defense for the Lady Toppers was what went right in this game. They held Jacksonville State to 41 points, and that second half, they held them to even less. They had 14 steals in that game. They were making Jacksonville State's offense uncomfortable, and we'll hear Greg Collins talk about it. When you make an offense uncomfortable, that is when you get wins. When you hold teams to 40 points in that game, that's when you come out with that win.
Yes, and they held Jacksonville State to 14 points in the second half. 6 points scored in the third quarter, 8 points in the fourth quarter. Extremely impressive showing from WKU on the defensive side of the ball. The one thing WKU still needs to grow from is they got out-rebounded in this game. Jacksonville State had 36 boards to WKU, I believe 31 boards. You cannot get out-rebounded in every game and expect to win it. So I think if they grow from that and come out and out-rebound teams, I think this team could get hot at the right time. But one player who helped the Tops break their 8-game losing streak was guard Salma Kadir.
Salma Kadir absolutely went off, 16 points in this game, and if you ask me, Jacob, she's going to get in the 20s in these next coming games. I'll say this right now. Their defense was on point, but Salma Kadur was their offense. There was a part in that game where I think she scored 8 points in a row. She is able to get separation away from those Jacksonville State defenders and get open and put up shots. She drives to the basket. If you ask me, Brandon, what's the number one thing that you want to say that's for sure happening in any Western Kentucky Hilltopper game? It's that Salma Kadur is going to drive to the basket and get those and-ones.
Yes, she is going to do that, and she averages just under 10 points a game at 9.9 a game right now. But if she has games like this, she can average 15 to 20 points a game in the last 5 games of the regular season that is coming up for the Western Kentucky women's basketball.
I'll say this right now. She is their girl, but Trinity Rowe is also doing fantastic. Both of those players are going to do phenomenal these last 5 games. But now, let's hear what head coach Greg Collins had to say about his team's win against Jacksonville State.
Yeah, it takes everybody. You know, we after the losses, I tell them I'm sorry. That there's things that we all have to do better, but it takes everybody. And one time one of the things we talk about is if I want to change my circumstances, the one thing I can control, I have full control of, is myself. I can't change you, but I can change me. And so we try to make sure that it takes everybody. And I told them it was all about the defense. They held them to single digits in the last 2 quarters, 14 points and a half. And we can win games if we can hold teams in the 40s. We can win games.
Now, Lady Toppers are coming off of a big conference win against Jacksonville State. Jacob, what should the Lady Toppers expect in the 100 Miles of Hate rivalry game against MTSU?
MTSU is a great defensive team. 58.6 points per game, which is 3rd best in Conference USA. A 9-4 record in Conference USA, which is tied for 2nd. And this team doesn't score the ball much. So WKU, if WKU wants to win this game could seriously be 45 to 41.
100%, a very defensive battle. That's what I'm expecting to come up. But do not take credit away from this MTSU offense. Even though the points per game is not drastically high, they're still top 5 in the conference. Their offense still gets boards. They still drive to the basket and get those and-ones. So just like your defense was on point for that Jacksonville State game, it needs to be on point, and you have to get those rebounds. That's the one critique I have of the Lady Toppers, is that they did not get as many rebounds as I like to see.
Yes, MTSU is 3rd worst in the conference in rebounds with 34.9 a game. And to flip it to January 31st, when the Hilltoppers faced them for the first time, MTSU won that game 81 to 58. And Blair Bogus of MTSU had 17 rebounds. And WKU got out-rebounded by 14. But one player the Tops will need to stop to start a winning streak of their own is Alanya Contreras. In her last game against WKU, she dropped 27 points. And then against Kennesaw State in her last game, that's a season high at 28.
Season high 28. She dropped her 2nd most number of points against the Hilltoppers. She is their Salma Kadur. She is their Trinity Rowe. She is their player. And if Western wants to get this win, again, defense, defense, defense. I love the defense that you showed me in your last game, but I'm going to need to see it again ×2. 14 steals, I want 20+ steals. Get me those rebounds so I can see the Lady Tops get that much needed win. Because against MTSU, that's your arch rival.
Yes.
That's the 100 Miles of Hate rivalry. You need to beat them, especially in the season that's been somewhat disappointing. You want this win right here.
Yes, Alanya Contreras, let's flip it back to her. Her last 5 games, she is averaging 20.4 points per game. She is a walking bucket right now. WKU has to stop her. If they don't, then it's
not a good showing for the Tops.
But I had a chance to say my take. But Brandon, I want to hear your take on this women's basketball team.
All right, Jacob, you had a chance to say your take, and now it's my turn. Now, here's my take. Listen, this Lady Topper squad is better than their record shows. Much better. They looked a lot more complete in their latest game against Jacksonville State. The defense was on fire with 14 steals, and whatever fuse Greg Collins lit under this team is working. There's 5 games left this regular season, Jacob. Yes, 5. This season has been disappointing. Yes, there may be some changes made in the offseason, but this team is focusing on the here and now, and I'm stating this right now. The Lady Toppers will win out on the rest of this season. They are familiar with each of the teams left on this final slate. They've played each team before this season, And even though they went 0-5, they lost against every single one of them, they are going to want their revenge. Trinity Rowe is looking like a true leader out there and will make this team complete. She had many key assists and shots in their latest game against Jacksonville State. And Salma Kadur, we talked about her a little bit. She dropped 16 points last weekend, and I see absolute no sign of her slowing down. The WKU Lady Tops are going to win out these final 5 games and will end the season, which has been disappointing, the right way. Because that's all you can do when you've had a disappointing season, is end it the right way.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I believe the women's basketball team can get hot right now because that's a big win and your defense looked really good. However, 5 in a row against teams that you are 0-5 against is definitely something that would be hard. It's possible, but it would be hard. If I were to make a prediction right now, I would say they go 2-3, 3-2. I think 5 in a row is a bit of a stretch.
I hear you, and I hear you, and I respect your take. But when you have a defense that's played that good against Jacksonville State, I know it's only been 1 game, but if they beat this MTSU game, which are their arch rivals, this game is going to be hot. It's going to be a defensive battle. If you beat MTSU, you get even more momentum than you got when you played Jacksonville State. And I could see them go on a run. This year has been disappointing, and if you're an athlete, if you're a player on that Lady Top squad, the main message is let's just finish it off the right way.
And you have nothing to lose.
You have absolutely nothing to lose
because no one expects you to make a run, and if they were to go make a run, go deep in the Conference USA tournament, it would be extremely impressive for them.
Extremely impressive, and the biggest thing is just end this season the right way so that way you can set yourself up to be much better next season.
Yes.
I believe in these Tops, and even though you're saying my take might be a little crazy, I'm sticking with it.
Yes.
Open your ears up because I'm sticking with this take. But do not turn off your TV, folks, because when we come back, we will be talking all things Hilltopper softball next on The Extra Point.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut, the one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink, or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking, now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back to The Extra Point. The softball Tops traveled to Macon, Georgia for the Mercer University Softball Invitational last weekend. And Jacob, I got to ask, how did this softball team do in this tournament?
So this softball team went 2-2 on this tournament. They got a W against Army. They split against Mercer, and they lost to Iowa. And one of the biggest takeaways I had from this tournament, you cannot allow big run spots in innings. Against Mercer, they lost 9-12, and they gave up an 8 spot in the 3rd inning. And against Iowa, they were up 5-3 going into the bottom of the 5th. They gave up a 2 spot in the 5th and then a 3 spot in the 6th. You cannot do that if you want to win games.
100%. But I saw improvement, especially against that Mercer squad. The first time you do lose 9-12, but then the second time you beat them 13-2. You get that big win. That was their biggest win the entire tournament. And one player that helped the Tops at the Mercer University Softball Invitational was pitcher Maddie Wood. She absolutely went off, Jacob.
She was dominant. She pitched in 2 of their games. Both ended in wins. She had a 2-0 record against Army, 4 2/3, 1 earned run, 2 hits allowed, and 5 strikeouts. Against Mercer, 6 innings, which was a complete game because they run ruled them, and then 2 earned runs in that game, 4 hits allowed, and 5 strikeouts. So 10 strikeouts on the weekend, 10 2/3 innings, and a 1.97 ERA.
10 strikeouts in 10.2 innings. You gotta love that. And how could you not expect that our impact player would be the girl from our Hilltopper headline? You have to love it. But now after competing in the MUSB tournament, the Hilltoppers finally return home for the Hilltopper Classic. And I'm a Hilltopper fan. It's about time they come back to the Hill. Tell me, Jacob, what should we expect in this Hilltopper Classic?
What you should expect is WKU is going to play in 5 games. They're going to play Butler in Western Michigan today. They're actually playing Butler as we speak. Detroit Mercy in Western Michigan on Saturday, and then Butler on Sunday to end things off. So let's hit on some of the teams here.
I'll say this right now, Jacob. Hit on the teams. Butler is a good squad. They're going to want to focus on Butler. I know folks can be like, Detroit Mercy, 1-4. Oh, that's going to be an easy win. No, folks. Detroit Mercy is a talented squad. All 3 of these teams could cause some major problems for the softball tops if they don't come into this tournament with the right preparation. But I'm happy that they're back in Bowling Green.
Yes, and Butler allows 8.5 runs a game, which means you need to score on offense. A team that Western Kentucky will definitely have to watch out for, though, is Western Michigan. Brandon, tell me a little bit about
Western Michigan. Western Michigan. Remember that name, folks. Western Michigan. They are 5-4. And let me just tell y'all, let me give y'all some information here. They went 1-4 in that Mardi Gras Classic, which was a very tough tournament. If you take away that tournament, they're what? I'm going to do some math here. They're 4-0.
Yeah, they are 4-0. They played in the Blue Hose Invitational Tournament. That's when they went 4-0. And in that Mardi Gras Classic, 2 of those losses were determined by 1 run.
1 run.
And they have extremely good players on this team, too. Megan Malarski, a .444 batting average. That is absurd at the college softball level.
Again, this team is very talented, folks. I'm going to give you all some background as well. Western Michigan, 5-4. They have players all on that team, all around. And everyone is going to have to wait and see to find out how the Hilltoppers are going to do in this tournament. But don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back to talk more about Hilltopper baseball. We'll stick with the diamond, talk about some Hilltopper baseball next on The Extra Point.
A lot of my friends told me that I wasn't going to be able to do it. You don't need to start out with a teenager because they've had all these things that they've gone through.
Could we give him the things he needed to be a successful adult?
What parent isn't worried about, what am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough?
That's my son.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before.
I had a rough time, but I saw that even though the way I was acting, they didn't push me away.
She says that we're her heroes, but she's also mine.
I've had 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
How you guys raised me is absolutely amazing. And I really, really appreciate that.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Gone! Another home run in the bottom of the first for Lane Arroyos. It's a base hit. two runners are going to score for Western Kentucky. Took game number 2 of the series, and they take game number 3.
Welcome back into Studio 2. The BYU Cougars traveled to the Hill last weekend to face off against the baseball Tops. Lincoln, what went down in this 4-game series?
Well, the Hilltoppers they got 2 wins and they got 2 losses. 4-game series. As Hilltopper fans, you know, it might not be the things that you wanted to see. 2 losses. You're expecting kind of a sweep, but 2-2, it's pretty well. I mean, there was errors with the hitting and there was errors with the pitching, but there was also a lot of good signs, like a new transfer, Aaron Robertson, on the pitching squad through a scoreless 4-inning game. So, I mean, he did a great job. He got 5 Ks as well. And then Zach Lyles kind of playing into that new Cal Higgins role as a closer. Yeah, 5 Ks and 4 innings, only 1 run allowed. And I mean, 17 RBIs total. The hitting was still there for Western, but unfortunately that 3.75 ERA is kind of what you look at as being the issue.
Yes, and one of those games, Western did allow 12 runs, so that did spike the ERA a little bit. And a guy that I want to mention, Aaron Robertson, pitcher, 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs, extremely good game. But Lincoln, who was one player on WKU that really helped them in this series?
I mean, I don't have the exact final stats from today's game, but I know he's already got a 2 RBI double so far, and that was Lane Arroyos. I mean, just a guy that's kind of stepping into that Ryan Weidman role from last year's team. 2 homers in the first inning or 1 home run in the first inning of the second game, and then another home run in the first inning of the third game. And he's also a guy that's up there taking his walks as well. 4 walks on the series, 5 total RBIs, and then the 5 hits. So a guy that you're going to see so much this year for the Hilltoppers.
Yes, and he had a 1274 OPS too, which is insane when you're playing a Big 12 team at WKU. But let's hear what Coach Raridan had to say about JUCO transfer Lane Arroyos.
Just recruiting. You know, he did it all in junior college in New Mexico. He'll take his walks. He's got a really good eye at the plate. Obviously, he's got some juice. He can run the ball out of the ballpark. You know, he'll go the other way. He had one where he flew out to left, but, you know, just staying on a ball and going the other way. So he's a good, complete college hitter, and we're glad we have him.
Now, the Tops will take on Southeast Missouri State for another homestand at home.
Yeah, this is a similar team to Western. I mean, they went 2-2 in their first games of the season. They played a series against Illinois State, and they only won one of those games. And then they went to St. Louis and won that game. I mean, the average is a standout for this team, a .318 team batting average. But one of the things you look at that the Tops really need to take advantage of is how their pitching is not as good as it was last year. I mean, a 5.2 ERA for the Red Hawks. So you got to take advantage of that, but they also can hit the ball really well. So this young pitching team for Western is going to have to step up.
Yes, they will. And when you have a team that gives up a 5.82 ERA, you got to take advantage of the long ball. You got to take advantage of hitting. So if you can do those things, you can definitely win the series.
Yeah, and there's one player that the Tops really have to watch for against this team, a guy that can hit the ball really well, and that's Cal Sullivan. I mean, he's got a .375 ERA, so he's hitting the ball all the time. And just like Lane Arroyos, he's kind of that guy for the Red Hawks. He's got a .375 ERA, like I said, along with the 2 home runs, the 6 hits, and 8 RBIs already on the season, Jacob. It's pretty phenomenal.
He is unbelievable, and a 1257 OPS too is extremely good for Cal Sullivan, playing against Illinois State and St. Louis, and 4 games in, and you have those stats. That's extremely impressive from that guy. And now it's time to improve our ratings. Grab your popcorn as Brandon sits between the biased Kaylee Marksberry and Stephen A. Smith or Orion Taylor to talk all things college basketball on everyone's favorite segment, Delay of Game. Next on The Extra Point.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If if I'm really free. Take me down to the river and walk.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Studio 2. It's time for a good one, folks, the layup game. But first, a quick reminder of the rules. Each contestant here will have 40 seconds to argue their point without interruption. And after that, the gloves are off and really anything goes. Today's topic will be college men's basketball. Joining with me at the desk are reporters Kaylee Marksberry and Orion Taylor. Guys, good to see y'all, absolutely.
Hello.
Good to see you too.
First, our first topic. Tell me, who is the best player in the ACC? Orion, you're up first, my man.
Thank you so much. It's pretty obvious who it is. It's Mikael Brown Jr. In the wise words of Espen, he's a dog. I mean, look at him. He came back from injury and has dropped 100 points total in 3 games. And then set a record as a rookie for the most points in a game, 45? Who else you see doing that? I don't see Cam Boozer doing that, I don't think. But he also set tied a franchise record for the most threes made by a rookie as well. How many of those were there? I think it was 10. I think it was 10 of them actually, which is pretty impressive. I mean, Cam Boozer's not doing that. Let's be real. He is not doing that ever.
Okay, you say that Cam Boozer's not doing that, but that's not a fair argument to say when Cam Boozer is putting up like 23 points per game. I mean, come on, he's an impact not just offensively but defensively. He has a very, very strong basketball IQ, which is what makes him the best player in the ACC. He anticipates his plays very well, very smart. And I don't know how you're trying to make this argument when he leads the ACC in points per game, rebounding, and he is the 4th best in the country per game. So that's not something that you can argue and he also plays for Duke. So I think Cam Boozer, he's not just an offensive player, but he's so strong defensively too, Orion.
I think you're out of time, actually.
I think it's, what?
I think you just ran out of time. You went over time a little bit there.
Just go right ahead then. That's because I have more to say than you, because you don't have a fair
I wish
point.
I was a spoiled Duke fan too.
Good.
But I'm going to tell you right now,
No.
that game he shot 10 threes, by the way. He also shot 62% from the field. I just want to bring that out.
Yeah,
Not to mention his teamwork ability, working alongside with Ryan
Boozer
Conwell.
is projected to be top
when they
3
played,
in the
who was
NBA
it?
draft
NC
pick.
State.
He's projected to be
They
top 3.
combined for
Mikael Brown Jr. is
76
only going to be in the top 10
total
with, yes, he's
Pretty
still a
impressive,
good
not to
player.
ask.
He's still a good player, but Cam Boozer hasn't beat so much.
Who's Cam Boozer being compared to in the NBA draft? Who's he being compared to?
A lot of players.
I think it was Al Horford.
Who?
I do believe it was Al
All
Horford.
right. You guys, both players are great, but moving on. Next question. Who is going to make a deeper run this March? Louisville or Kentucky? Orion, you have the floor again.
It's Louisville. Let's be real. It is 100% Louisville. They are way more team-oriented under Pat Kelsey, and it is not even close. They run their offense inside out with Mikael Brown Jr. and Ryan Conwell running the offense, dishing the ball, and getting buckets themselves. Oh, and did I mention they're also coached by Pat Kelsey? They got that. And then not to mention the double big man lineup they run with Sanana Fru and Ali Khalifa. They are unstoppable. You are not getting buckets in the paint. You're not going to hit your threes like we will. And it's impossible. They're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything.
Oh.
Okay, I feel like because I'm a Duke fan, trying to argue for Kentucky is a little not my place, but I'm gonna do it anyway because Kentucky is gonna go further than Louisville. They have strong individual scoring. Louisville, they do have good team chemistry, but Kentucky has better individual scoring and better shooting efficiency. When they played each other, Kentucky outshot them. They had better they had better shots, and then they keep their games close. Hello. Yes, they lost to Louisville, but they keep their games close. They don't allow teams to beat them by so much. Plus, they have players like Denzel Aberdeen, who has had at least 26 points per game.
Who?
Especially against Louisville. Denzel Aberdeen.
Denzel Aberdeen? Yeah, still no clue who you're talking about.
That's
Are we going to talk about
Kentucky
Otega Owe running ISO ball the whole game, and if he has an off night, then Kentucky's just going to automatically lose the game?
He had 28 points against Georgia. That's still who on Louisville?
I could go out and have 28 points against Georgia.
I don't think you can even get the basketball to the rim.
Don't think I could.
No, you're like 4'2", Orion. You're not shooting that ball that high. I'm sorry.
I'm not?
No, and so
for
you to argue
I
for
think
Louisville,
we need a 1v1 in
the
studio. Personally, I think we need a 1v1 in the studio. But yeah, no, we got it in the
destroyed.
bag.
I have a mean crossover. Just ask Lincoln Bryan and Cole McIntyre.
Okay.
So.
Let's get back to Louisville and Kentucky here.
Right, but
do we want to talk about Kentucky having one true center on their roster?
You guys were talking about your own basketball skills. I thought we were talking about U of L and UK, but regardless, we're moving on. Next topic, the final topic, the Big Blue Devil. We're talking about Duke here, folks. I know, it's nasty. Duke fans, please close your ears. Guys, is Duke overrated? Orion, you're up.
Yes, they are beyond overrated. Their free throw shooting's abysmal. They shoot anywhere from 50 to 75%. They rely on freshman talent. They only have 7 non-freshmen on their roster, and that is ridiculous because most of them will be gone. Because let's be real, people use Duke as a stepping stone to get to the league and then become a second-round exit. And teams shoot 46% against their defense, which is better than most teams do wide open as well. There's no shot that you would agree that Duke is not overrated. They are overrated, and they will always be overrated.
Okay, Orion, if they're so overrated, then why are they one of the most, or if not the most, college basketball team talked about every single year?
The most college basketball team?
Or the most talked about college basketball team talked about every single year. Duke, literally, they are 13-1 in ACC. They're first. They have such balanced scoring with Cam Boozer and Isaiah Evans. Need I say more? John Shire is such a good coach, and you keep saying that just because they're freshmen, that's because Duke's recruiting is completely unmatched. John Shire is insane when it comes to recruiting, and he when he played at Duke, he got to the championship too, so he knows he was under Coach K. So, like, if it were just the players, Duke wouldn't still be Duke if it wasn't for Coach K. So that's because, and John Shire is literally the fastest coach in the ACC in history.
I will give it to you.
To get to 100
they
wins.
do have very
Tell me
good
how they're not going to be
rostership
hyped.
abilities. But I'm also going to tell you, most of the time, they join Duke, like I said, as a stepping stone to get to the league. And then once they get to Duke
and so Duke is
play
still worth the
year,
hype because they're producing the freshest NBA talent. Dude, look at Cooper Flagg.
I'm pretty sure Knuppel did it as well. And I'll give it to you. They're good players.
Yeah.
But they used Duke as a stepping stone and then left. So I wouldn't get too attached to those players that you just mentioned because they're going to be gone next year.
They did the same. That's because Cam Boozer is literally going to be the first NBA draft pick.
No.
He's going to be
Cam
top 3.
Boozer is not. AJ DeBonsta is definitely got number 1.
He's going to be in the top 3. But going back to Duke,
sure, he'll be top 3.
Have you seen who they're bringing in for next season? They have they're getting size.
All right. Again,
it's not going to be anybody?
Again, stop. It's a nasty argument. It's about Duke. I don't like it. But okay, you two are done. I'm sorry, Kaylee. Next up, we'll take a deep dive into high school basketball as we inch closer to districts. Reporter Eli Thompson joins the desk to preview the biggest time of the season next on The Extra Point.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick, on and off the field. We were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20+ years was physical, physical, physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains.
There's no sparks.
But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to the Extra Point. I got the chance to look at two high school basketball squads as they prepare for districts. Go ahead and take a look.
One city, two legacies, a third matchup to prove it all.
I mean, you know, the thing about it is, I don't think you can ever misunderstand or take in consideration the rivalry of us at Warren Central.
I just think everybody counted us out, and we were young, but we're really good this year. So I think we can compete with anybody.
A young team looking to make a statement.
And then you look on the floor sometimes, like last night, we had 3 freshmen on the floor against one of the top 25 teams in the state, you know, a team that go to the state tournament.
A matchup with no end in sight.
That's a great rivalry, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
Both teams with the same goal.
If you look back, we both had success in the state tournament. We both played in state championship game. We both won a banner, you know, both programs. So, you know, it just goes to show how good both programs are.
That game is going to be very challenging for us just because we don't want to take nobody for granted going into these next tournament plays because it's win or go home. So just not taking any team light.
We just got to go compete, you know. I think having anything, if we got any advantage, it's just we're playing at home. You can be old or young and still get deep. So we got to compete, and we definitely got to compete a lot harder than we did at their place.
A true test every single year.
I think if we didn't have them or they didn't have us, the other team wouldn't be as good as they are now.
You want to put your best foot forward. If you do get beat, you want to lay your head down and I gave everything I got. They just play better than us.
All for a chance to hang another banner. Eli Thompson, the Extra Point.
Eli, tell me, what is the biggest thing you took away from talking to both schools' coaches and players?
Well, I think the main thing I learned was how much each coach knows about how the other one plays. They're both so intelligent. They really know the game of basketball to a level that I don't even think I understood until I got to sit down and talk with them. And they both have such cool stories to tell. Like, I edited it all together, and I didn't even do it. Like, it was what they said that made the story come to life and so real. And I think it was just so cool to kind of get to know how they think.
So what should we expect from these two teams going into a big district semifinal game?
Yeah, so it might be the 1 and the 4, but I don't think people really realize how big of a rivalry this is. I mean, I know they talked about it, but you just got to watch these games. It's a game that's always close no matter what. Both teams really compete with each other. Both teams give each other a run for their money. And just like Coach Sherrill said, they each make each other better in and out every year, and that's why they both have banners, and I think that's what makes them just so good and talented.
Yeah, if you could make a prediction,
okay,
who are you taking?
If I had to make a prediction, you know what? I'm going to refrain from answering that. I don't want to answer because I don't think it's fun. I want to watch the game, and I can't. I don't want to go out there, and I don't want to be wrong. You give me an answer then. Hanging off to flip it on you.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I want to watch good basketball.
There we go. See, I don't
probably
want to do it either.
Don't go anywhere, though. It's almost time for the first verdict. Reporter Gus Warren and Miranda Huglin join the desk to give their picks for tonight's high school basketball games. Next on The Extra Point.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back once again. We are joined by 2-7 overtime reporters Gus Warren and Miranda Huglin.
A little reminder for those who want to know how the first verdict works. The two reporters of the day, Gus and Miranda, will give their takes on the games of tonight. But here's the catch, folks. They have to double down on them on 270 after the games are played. So tune in tonight to see those results. Guys, welcome in.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's good to be with guys. All know we're a basketball. We'll see.
I am a current basketball coach, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah, but let's jump right into it. For the first game, we have the Bowling Green Purples taking on the Muhlenberg County Mustangs in the boys game. Gus, who do you have?
I got a shout out to my boy at WNKY, Cole Scott. I'm taking the Muhlenberg County Mustangs for this one. And Miranda, I don't know, you're on the younger side. You know, I was born when Washington crossed the Delaware. Have you ever seen the movie Rocky?
Oh no, Gus.
Oh God! But yeah, so I'm a big fan of the underdog. You know, I'm gonna take Muhlenberg. They got blown out in this game last year. I think it's gonna be sneaky competitive. You know, I'm liking Muhlenberg's chances.
Miranda, what's your take?
Okay, I hate to agree with Gus, but I have a little logic here. I'm also taking Muhlenberg, if I said that right. Okay, here's why. So obviously we know the big game of the year, Bowling Green Greenwood, where Bowling Green lost to Greenwood 71-61. But Muhlenberg beat Greenwood 77-75. So underdogs might come out on top. We'll see.
Did we just agree on something?
Fine.
I think this is the first time in a debate where I actually agreed with my opponent.
It's actually really shocking for you guys.
This
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in here where I'm
That is actually crazy. But next up, guys, we got the guys of Evangel Christian against the Warren Central Dragons. Miranda, why don't you start off? Who do you have in this matchup?
Okay, obviously we have to take the Warren Central Dragons, and this is where we disagree, guys. Okay, top 3 in the state easily, and this team just has so much depth. They can rotate like 8-10 guys off the bench and not drop in points at all, and that's what you need in these big games.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I'm taking the Evangel Christian Eagles. You know, their coach, he kind of looks like Kurt Rambis and Napoleon Dynamite, like became one person. He looks really cool. Doesn't look like a basketball coach.
All right. And our third boys game of the night, who do you got between Male and Manual? Gus?
Could either teams lose? I'm taking Manual though. I'm taking the Whams, the Manual Whams.
Oh.
Miranda?
Okay, we're agreeing again. That's disappointing. I'm also taking Manual. That'll be a good game.
All right, for our final game of the night, folks, we have a great matchup in the boys for Covington Catholic at Madison Central. Miranda, go ahead, tell us real quick who you have.
The Cub Cath Colonels, they're going to win.
Gus, who do you have?
Madison Central. It's going to be a barn burner.
I'll disagree again. Okay.
We will find out which one of you knows ball. Tune in tonight at 11 p.m. for 2-7 overtime. Live in Studio 2. We will see you there. But as always, the extra point is up.
And it's good.